Hey, what's up? Yin here, and this is the NF Audio NE4 Evolution. It is a pure balanced armature IEM with 4 BAs per side, made from Knowles, and it's got this special interchangeable faceplate, as you can see here, that also changes the sound, which I'll talk about this later in my video. And the retail price for this is $750 US. It's available on Hi-Fi Go's website, so if you want to find out more, do check out the unaffiliated link in the description below. I've already unboxed this, so if you haven't watched my unboxing video, do check out the link somewhere up here. But in this video, I'm just gonna give it straight up to you guys, my impressions of these earphones. So let's begin first with the box or the packaging. This packaging is very flattering. You know, it's huge, it's big, it's very nice. Okay, it's in fact a little bit overkill to me. I think they can save the earth lah, because it's just too much in terms of packaging. And inside this packaging, let's talk about the accessories. I already unboxed this, so I'm not going to go through every one. But I just want to give you guys, you know, what I feel. And I feel that, you know, for $750, I think they could do better. It's a little bit underwhelming to me, but I like the carrying case. This carrying case has got this very nice to the touch kind of silicone surface, which is nice, right? And inside you've got this felt feel to it, which can protect your IEM. So that's about it. The rest of the accessories is a little bit underwhelming, especially the cable. Cable is, I mean it's an upgraded cable, but it's a little bit thin and soft, and it doesn't really look nice or elegant to me. So you know, I've seen better cables like this. Look at this cable here. This is a very nice cable, right? From Hy-Vee. Nothing to hide. This is from Hy-Vee. So yeah, a bit underwhelming accessories. Ear tips as well. You know, I tried to use the ear tips, the stock ear tips, and they didn't really fit my ear, and they kept slipping out. So yeah, I ended up using my dividends ear tips after tip rolling to a few ear tips, and this fits me well, stays in my ear, and it feels good. Okay, so that's for the accessories. Now let's talk about the earphones themselves, and this is what, you know, excites me. You know, this is the kind of innovation that makes me excited about earphones. And on this earphone or this IEM, it comes with this faceplate here that you can change out to other faceplates so that you know, get a different sound. So the one that I have here now is the blue faceplate, and this one gives you a very transparent sound. Basically, transparent means flat. Okay, so this is a very flat sound, very neutral sound, very, I would say, yeah, nothing, no coloration to it. So that's why it's transparent. This is the faceplate that I like the most. As you can see, it's on the IEM. The next faceplate would be the black faceplate, and this one is more of a reference type of tuning, and it you know, it sounds nice, it's all right, but I prefer this transparent one. Okay, I've used the transparent one, and I find that transparent one is somewhere in the middle. So between the black and the blue, I like this transparent one. And then you've got the red, right? So the red is more for EDM, pop, and it's got a V-shaped tuning to it. So what this faceplate does, right, it's got a crossover here, this chip here, and they have programmed it to manipulate the balance armatures inside here. So there are 4. Okay, so for example, the red faceplate, it will assign one of the BAs to be the bass, and the other one to be the mids, and then the other 2 to be the treble. In the case of the black, maybe they assign one of the BAs to be the bass, and 2 to be the mids, and 1 to be the treble, something like that. So that's how this crossover manipulates the balance armature inside here. Okay, and changing out the faceplate is quite simple. I mean, they do come with this screwdriver. This is really small screwdriver, and you know, I've got fat fingers and I've got butter fingers, so I rather use my pen drive. So yeah, it's got a screw here, so all you need to do is just unscrew it. It's a bit tight. So once it's unscrewed, the faceplate comes off, and then you change out the faceplate that you want. Now this earphone inside, there's some connectors here, and there's the pogo pins here on one side, which is on the IM side, and is spring loaded, and on the other side, which is on the faceplate, you've got the connectors, right? So all you need to do, line them up, and there is a tongue and groove thing here, and then just press it down, and if I can find the screw, put the screw back on, right, like so. As you guys can see, I've got butter fingers and fat fingers, and then, oh man, okay, so this is for those with delicate fingers, and to complete this. So I'm just going to try and screw this in. So there you go. So very simple. All you need is a screwdriver, and you can, you know, change the plates out. I do not suggest to try this on a bus or on a train, right? I mean, try to do this at home before you go out. So yeah, it's not simple, but it's pretty straightforward, right? Changing out the plates. Yeah, so let me just put this back, and we'll continue the video. There you go. Okay, so that's how simple it is. Okay, the IEM is nicely built. It's got metal all over. Okay, it's built like a tank, and the inner shell is quite curvy, as you can see, and the nozzle is a little bit on the shorter side. Okay, and as you notice, right, there are no vents. This is not a vent, and when I put this on, let's talk about comfort then. When I put this on, it didn't give me any vent or you know, space for the air to come out, so it created a vacuum in my ear, and with that vacuum, it created a little bit of uncomfortable, you know, moments in my ear. So try not to tug this out. Try to release the vacuum before you pull this out from your ear, because it's going to hurt your ear. It's going to feel uncomfortable anyway. So yeah, so in terms of comfort wise, I find that, you know, once it's in my ear and with the right ear tip, it feels comfortable, but it's not 100%. So I find that comfort wise it's all right. It's not the best. Alright, now let's talk about the sound first, with the technical performance of this. And I must say, this blew my mind when it comes to technical performance. Firstly is the sound. This doesn't sound like a pure balanced armature IM. It does give me that dynamic feedback, you know, even though it's a balanced armature. As you know, dynamic drivers, they give you that, you know, that sound, you know, that typical dynamic sound with dynamic speakers, right? But on this doesn't have any diaphragms. They just have got a, you know, moving iron, and to me is that it doesn't sound like a balanced armature. So good job, and in overall the resolution on this is fantastic. There's little to none distortion when I'm listening to my tracks. And yeah, the resolution on this is just clean and clear. Soundstage as well. I would say the soundstage on the blue faceplate is the best. A very transparent soundstage, is wide as ever. And the sound separation and layering of the instruments in the soundstage is just fantastic on this. Yeah, I love the soundstage on this. Sound separation as well is very distinct, and the details that this retrieve is just to the pin. So in terms of technical performance on this is top notch, right? No complaints about the technical performance of this IM. Okay, now let's talk about the tone and timbre for this, and I would say different faceplate will give you different tone and timbre, right? For example, the red faceplate gave me a bit of a warmish tone, heavier note, and overall a more fun and casual tone. The blue faceplate on the other spectrum gave me a very thin and light and sterile and neutral type of tone and timbre. And the black faceplate gave me somewhere of a balance. Yeah, I mean it's still reference sounding, but it's more of a balanced sound. Not so balanced, but balance. And this is the transparent one is just a little bit below the black one in terms of the balance kind of level. So I would say the transparent one is closer to neutral. And this, by the way, the transparent one doesn't come with the package itself. You got to buy this separately. Okay, so in terms of tone and timbre, that's the different tone and timbre. This is what I like, right? They give you options, and I can choose depending on my mood. I can choose the different faceplates and the different tone and timbre that I like. Okay, so now let's talk about sound, and let me just put all this one side and show you guys the graph. Okay, I do have graph this time around. So this is the graph. Okay. And this is the blue faceplate. And if you look at the blue faceplate, the dotted line is the Harman curve. And I love this curve. To me, this is the kind of curve that I try to go for. Let me try and rest this on this case. So I like this kind of curve. I like a flat response when it comes to the sub bass and the mid bass. And that's where, you know, the mids will have some room to shine. So, I mean, the trade-off is that the sub bass would sound thin and light. I mean, it does have that clarity there. Extension is a little bit rolled off, as you can see. But that's what I like. You know, it doesn't have that coloration that most of the IEMs have with that bass and the mid bass and that texture that veils the transparency of the instruments. So this is where, you know, instruments will shine. You can hear a lot of clarity from the instruments, especially classical instruments, which I listen to quite a lot. And the treble, if you look at the treble here and the peanut gain of the treble, is non-invasive. I can say that is non-invasive. It's a little bit too non-invasive to me, but you know, this is why I like. I don't like anything that's shouty or in my face or too intense or too spicy, and this is just nice. All right, somewhere, you know, it plateaus off somewhere here. It's kind of odd, but I think this is what the crossover is doing. You know, it's not natural to have this kind of, you know, tuning. So the gain itself is very safe, I would say, and also the treble, the upper treble, and the overall presence of the treble is dark, right? It's not a bright treble, it's not a forward treble. I would say it's a very safe and non-sibilant treble, where I think a lot of younger generation, they like this kind of treble whereby it's not sibilant, it's not you know, piercing to the ears, especially at this region here. And the thing is, it's not too claustrophobic. It does give up, you know, it brings up a bit of the air of the treble, so you get good extension and a good roll off of the treble. So treble wise, I would say it sounds natural, but a dark natural type of treble overall. Okay, so this is the blue faceplate which I have on the IM right here. Okay, and then you have the black. I call it gray here, but it's black. Okay, so you got black faceplate, and this, as you can see, has got a little bit more bass and a little bit more elevation overall in the mid bass and the mids. And this part here, to me, it sounds a little bit too bloated for me. Where you know, the sub bass is a little bit rolled off. At the same time, you got that very prominent mid bass, which is together with the mids, where your instruments are. So to me, it's a little bit bloated and didn't really gel with my ear. So the blue still sounds better to me. The treble here, as you can see, is also pretty, you know, dark. Okay, similar with the pinna gain as well. So that's the black faceplate. Now let's talk about the red faceplate, and this is a very odd V-shaped tuned IM to me, and it is odd. If you look at the sub bass, is extended, is pretty harmonious in terms of the sub bass, but you look at the mid bass. The mid bass is bloated, okay, and the mids are recessed to a point that it's actually below the Harman standard, and to me is that it sounds very laid back. It's not a very forward mids, and it's veiled by the bass and the treble. Good thing is that the treble is not too forward and it's not too bright. So yeah, it's the kind of I don't know, I find that the mids are a little bit too recessed for me. So yeah, that's for the mids. And then the treble is actually pretty similar to the rest, whereby it's again plateaued off here at the pinna gain, and it's not sibilant. Okay, so that's for the red faceplate. And then we have the transparent faceplate, whereby this bass response here is actually pretty similar to the blue faceplate, but it's got a little bit more bass, at the same time a little bit more mids to the mix itself. Treble stays the same, so I find that this actually sounds better to me than the blue, to me, right? This is my ears, so I prefer, actually I've been swapping around the transparent faceplate and the blue faceplate, and I kind of gel with this blue faceplate. To me, I prefer this kind of tuning, a bit more bass. I don't want something that has got no bass or totally neutral flat bass. This has got a little bit more mid bass to my ears. So now let's see all the curves combined and comparing it with the Harman curve here. If you look at this line here is the blue faceplate, and then you have your transparent faceplate, and then just above that you have the black faceplate, and on the highest point here is the red faceplate. As you can see, all the different levels of the bass level. At the same time, the mids here, the crossover is actually, I crossed over at 1K. So if you crossed over here and normalize at 1K, you can see all the differences where the faceplate made the changes. I mean, if you cross over at 200, then you won't be able to see the difference, right? So yeah, so it's very obvious. This red faceplate has got a very dipped mids. And to me, the vocals and the instruments just sounds too recessed and too laid back for my liking. Okay, right, so that's the graph of this NE4. Now let me conclude. I would say price wise, this is a little bit overpriced. Okay, accessories a little bit underwhelming. Well, not a little, quite underwhelming. But what wows me is the tuning. So I love the tuning on this IEM. I love the fact that I can change the crossover as and when I wish, and it does make a big difference when I change the tuning. Not like some other IEMs that's got those dip switches whereby you can change just maybe 1 dB or increase 1 dB. No, this is a big change, and that gives me a totally different listening experience with these earphones. I can listen to all kinds of genre on these earphones, to be honest, and I can't recommend this to anyone or a specific group in that matter, because this you can play well with all kinds of genre of music, anything from pop to EDM to heavy metal to classical to jazz to instrumental, male vocal, female vocals. Yeah, they sound good on this, and to me, I like it very much in terms of the tuning. So yeah, do I recommend it? Yes, I do, but not at this price. I would say if they were to adjust the price, that would be great. but it does sound good to me. Alright, so that's it for my review and impression of this NE4 Evolution. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video, and if you did, please give this video a thumbs up, and also please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. That's it for now. I hope you guys have a great day ahead, and I'll see you again in my next review. Cheers.